Thank you for listening to the Luminous Mind audioblog, The Spark, Season 2, Episode 2. Hello, fire starters. Thanks for joining me on the second season of The Spark, Episode 2, where we are adding to our last month's discussion of creating balance in our life and moving on to organization, which is one of my favorite topics. In a sense, we're going to talk about decluttering ourselves. So I thought they worked really nicely together if we think of all the areas of our life, such as physical, spiritual, and temporal. So last month, I talked about the need for me to be better balanced, and it required 3 elements of daily priorities, essentialism, and scheduling. All those areas required improving organization, or at least picking up ideas I already understood and implementing them into my life. I'm going to share with you how I was able to organize my life with the responsibilities as a wife, a homeschooling mother, a teacher, and a podcaster. Currently in Idaho, the snow is melting and the thoughts of spring cleaning are looming. I love the seasons of the year that Idaho offers because they help me remember to refresh my goals and to kind of clean out the clutter. Anyway, for me, spring is a time of cleaning up and reorganizing, or for a lot of people anyway. Things here get pretty dirty with the snow and the weather and the salt and the grime, so spring is a great time to clean and reorganize with a nice spring breeze blowing through the house. I've been listening to the book Out of Sight, Out of Mind, Declutter and Organize Every Facet of Your Life, which is written by George Lucas in preparation for this month's topic, which I want to remind everyone how awesome Audible is for busy moms like myself to continue learning on the go. You can get 2 free Audible books through the affiliate link on the sponsor page on our website, which is theluminousmind.net. But I regress, the idea of putting organization right after a focus on creating balance in our lives worked really nicely. So when we think of clutter, we think sometimes of just our closets or drawers or etc., our closets, drawers, etc., and during the last month's mastermind, which if you missed, you can check it out on YouTube. It's also under our Audioblog page on our website. Anyway, I described how getting balance is like cleaning out a closet. So the physical organization needs to go hand in hand with the spiritual or the mental closet. So we have. We're going to talk about all of this to do with spring cleaning, changing of the seasons, and refocusing ourselves. So I have kind of a natural drive and desire to organize. I think other than myself, of someone I know who likes to organize would be my sister. She's the only other person I know who takes cleaning and organizing so seriously. Our father was really great at organization, and he passed on to us the love of checklists and accomplishment. I remember how he used to use baby food jars to organize screws, bolts, and nuts on the wall of his garage. And everything had its place, and he was always super organized. As a little girl, cleaning and organizing was something I just loved to do. In fact, my mother would take me with her to visit friends, and I'd start to clean, but that would make them feel so uncomfortable that a few of her friends asked her not to bring me back with her. So I struggle not being an obsessive compulsive cleaner. When I began homeschooling, I struggled to really change my schedule around to not do cleaning first. But in our house, learning comes first. And so I had to learn that such thick checklisting tendencies like I had needed to chill out, at least a tad. However, I need a clean house to function. So I'll give you some of my secrets of what I've learned through my 20 plus years as a wife and a homeschooling mother, and throw in a few extras. So let's dive right in.
Benjamin Franklin once said, "Do not curse the darkness, rather light a candle instead." If you're ready to set your mind on fire, then prepare yourself for the Luminous Mind with your host, Rebecca Bohman.
When I was a little girl, one day I was busy organizing when I came upon a list and schedule that my mother had picked up at a church function. As my mother is not a natural organizer or lover of cleaning like I am, this list was tucked away in a pile of unused papers. So with her permission, this idea of organizing went into my journal. And once I was married, it became part of my household management. It's really the secret to never having to do spring cleaning. Even though I talked about how awesome it is to have those seasonal changes, I really don't enjoy spring cleaning. But so it's a way all your household duties are just always constantly achieved. I'd like to say that we don't do spring cleaning and our house is perfectly organized, but I am human. And like I confessed last month, I say yes to far too many things. I have also learned that a perfectly clean house isn't the goal of my life or my mission. It's not what I want to be remembered for. However, I do like things to be tolerably clean so I can concentrate on schoolwork and writing and my other passions and things. So here is the organization I've used, although I'm sure I'm not the first one to implement this plan because, like I said, it was picked up from a church function in the 80s. So I'll start with our first area of organization, which is the physical, which is in our homes. So physical organization. Essentially, what this does is it takes all the duties and chores and separates them into categories of daily, weekly, monthly, and semi-annual. So I started by making a list of cleaning out the drawers, closets, all those household chores, and then putting them into categories that I mentioned before. I then wrote them out in a form beginning with the daily chores like making a bed, cleaning out the dishwasher, cleaning out clothes hampers. I also added a quick 5-minute cleanup in each major living space of our home, like picking up shoes, dirty clothes, fluffing pillows, those types of things. This list is just part of getting me ready in the morning. It is done before I usually leave the house. The cool thing is that consistently doing this has become part of my kids' lives too. They have added in things like practicing their piano into their morning routine. Anyway, so then next is the weekly chores, and they're listed by day of what is convenient for our schedule, and that changes every year depending on our activities. Also, as my kids have grown, I have included them on the weekly chore list as well. So I have selected areas like things that I really like to have done, like the fridge cleaned out every week. Some people don't necessarily find that a weekly thing, but I definitely do. So I selected areas where we can all work together, as I have found that the jobs are more quickly mastered by children and they actually get done when you're there to guide them. And I credit Donna Goff from episode number. So Donna was episode number, she actually had 2 that I split into 2, was 91 and 92. But I credit her for helping me see how that is more effective and less frustrating way to accomplish the chores of getting your children to happily get their work done. I've also found that a timer is an awesome way to let them know that the chore time isn't going to last all day. And it is a fun way for you all to beat the clock. It definitely makes cleaning and organizing more of a game. Now we'll talk about our monthly and semi-annual jobs, and that can be things that we add in on days that we're home a little more of the time. You think as homeschooling people we are home all the time, but we're not. We're running all the time. So when we're home more often, I add in the monthly and semi-annual jobs like cleaning one closet or one window or one drawer or one small area. So if this is done regularly, cleaning just little areas at a time, one drawer, one closet, one area, it doesn't require too much time and you're constantly purging yourself of clutter. So thus, like I said, no spring cleaning. It's pretty awesome. Recently, I read an article relating that depression can stem from disorganization and how small jobs, when they're done or an area that's organized, can also boost our self-esteem because it helps us feel like we've conquered something and we can celebrate small victories. Like I said, I'm definitely not perfect in this area. And as our children and myself have gotten busier, the monthly and semi-annual jobs sometimes get looked over far too often. I think I'll add some pictures to the current list, so be sure to go to our Audioblog page and check out the PDF that will be listed with this podcast. But I want to hear your ideas of ways you have organized your chores. So on the mastermind, please join us on March 26th because I want to learn from you how you guys organize your homes. And I think it could be a big help for other people. So we're going to kind of continue that discussion of how we organize our chores a little further on that mastermind. So after we organize our homes, let's talk about spiritual organization. So last month, I talked a lot more about, some of those things that I have been doing to get myself more spiritually organized. Then also with our mastermind, the mastermind that I held, we talked about the book Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown, which, by the way, is an excellent book. I listened to it about 3 times because I picked up so many little nuggets of knowledge. So the point I simply want to reiterate on spiritual organization is that scheduling time every day, so hopefully, like I talked about last time, those are dailies. Hopefully the first thing with your dailies are meditation, some prayer, some spiritual study, journal writing, some reflective time, whatever your spiritual persuasion requires for you to essentially have better clarity, purpose, and you regain focus on your personal mission and legacy. It helps us to prioritize our lives with things that matter most to us personally. Quiet spiritual time is also helpful in keeping us healthy as well. There's been numerous studies that show that is necessary to keep your body healthy. So when we start on the inside organization, it seems that the outside is also easier to organize. So maybe I should have started there when we talked about this. But we'll move on to temporal organization. This kind of maybe I'm even classifying it wrong, but it may seem like a silly area to talk about. But I think of temporal organization as scheduling time for your job or your personal study time or some community time. Anymore, this area seems to take over my life because it is so difficult for me to say no because of so much personal satisfaction that these things bring to me. But I've had to start setting a timer for anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes so I can intensely focus on my job or my personal study time. It is said that tasks will expand to fill the time that you give it. So if you don't set any time, sometimes you can spend all afternoon on something and you just half-heartedly work on it and you don't make a whole lot of progress and it just seems like you're not getting anywhere. But if you add a timer, it helps add some focus and all of a sudden you can move in and really attack that and get it done. It's really helped me to be more balanced and present in the moment. But maybe for you, your job has to take the priority and the physical organization of your home needs more of that timed focus moments. Like I mentioned before, it's worked really well for my kids and inspires them to help, especially when they know that after a certain time, they can go do the things they want to do. So as a family, we have learned to work on tasks together, that we learn together, that we cook together, that we work together, and then we have our own project times together. I'm finding it's a great way to organize a family. Anyway, to sum up my thoughts on this spark of organization, for me, it comes down to organizing those 3 facets of our lives. The physical organization needs to go hand in hand with our spiritual and or mental temporal organization. A scripture that is displayed in our house, that I have prominently displayed in our house, says, "Organize yourselves, prepare every needful thing, and establish a house, even a house of prayer, a house of fasting, a house of faith, a house of learning, a house of glory, a house of order, and a house of God." I love to study these words and really think about all of those areas to help keep me in perspective. Although I love to be organized, being too rigid in cleaning and organizing causes me to lose perspective on the important organization. It causes me to lose perspective on relationships and how relationships can be damaged through too much cleaning and organizing. No clean house is worth losing those relationships. As I said, I get this tendency from my father, and he talks about how when he was a little boy, he never saw his grandmother's house, the inside of his grandmother's house, past the laundry room, as the cleanliness of her house was more important than the relationship that she had with her grandson. That just makes my heart hurt for all of the lost learning and love that they could have experienced together. Part of my mission statement reads, "Remember that mothers are teachers, not servants. Teach in all things and have fun as you do it." That is the reminder to myself. This is the reminder to myself. And advice I'd give to young mothers is they leave far too soon. So just love every minute of it. As part of living my mission more fully and really getting back to the why behind the creation of the Luminous Mind, it is to help other people, especially moms. So I have a vision of creating a large worldwide community that mirrors my own supportive community that I have here. A community where we can ask questions, we can get answers, we can take advice from each other. I value the ordinary person's experience and advice to a greater degree than any expert, any magazine that you can read. I really think that we have so much to offer. So teach me. So join the Spark Mastermind. We're going to follow up this month's topic on a free live mastermind group on the fourth Saturday of this month, which is the 26th. I hold it at 10 a.m., which U.S. Mountain. It will actually be Mountain Daylight Savings Time through a Google Hangout. I'm still learning how to do these masterminds, but last month, the awesome thing that I did learn is that all of my Google Hangouts appear and record to YouTube. So you can join our YouTube channel and experience the whole thing live, or you can go there and get the recording. I expect this to be a great resource to others, as I'm sure everyone has different experiences and different ways to teach us how to organize ourselves. If you want to read the book that I've been reading in preparation for this topic, like I said, it's Out of Sight, Out of Mind, Declutter and Organize Every Facet of Your Life, which is written by George Lucas. But if any of you know of something better, a book that's even better, please get on and tell us about it. Remember, Mastermind is a fun, knowledgeable, interactive bunch who want to learn together. I'm not meant to teach this. I just want to facilitate the group. I want to learn from you. As an incentive, I have some prizes left from our anniversary giveaway, and I will award the first 5 people with the gift of their choosing from the giveaway page on our website. So, to close the sale of my mastermind, I'm going to quote Proverbs 11:14, which says, "Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety." So come be safe with us on this mastermind. Well, to wrap this up, please remember that we grow through subscribers, downloads, reviews in iTunes, and even on YouTube. So it helps us book guests. So keep that in mind. And if you feel like we deserve some of that support, please go in and let us know. Share it with your friends, with your family. Encourage them to listen and join our community. Thank you for listening to The Luminous Mind. To learn more about our audio blog, The Spark, go to theluminousmind.net. Be sure to become a subscriber to our free email list and get our new monthly newsletter. Then check out the Services tab to see how we can continue to assist you, our fire starters. Also, to help us continue production of inspiring content, go to the sponsor tab at theluminousmind.net for more information on sponsorship and affiliate programs. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Google+, and now Pinterest. Get our free audio content by subscribing on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. To help us grow, consider these easy ways. Tell your friends about us. Leave us a review. Share our content. Tell us how we can help you so together we can continue to light minds on fire and change the paradigm of education.